You return home to a ruined rug. It feels like a calculated act of pure canine revenge. Your dog is staring, seemingly guilty of this messy sabotage. We naturally assume they did it just to punish us. But you think they are acting out of spite when they are actually panicking. This common indoor accident is fundamentally misunderstood by our deeply ingrained human ego and primate instincts. Let us translate what that puddle on the floor truly means. It is perfectly normal to feel overwhelmed. Coming home to an unexpected mess tests the limits of our patience. Discovering a ruined carpet feels like a direct insult to your care. We are primates, deeply wired to read complex social intentions into everything. When we feel wronged, our brains naturally search for a deliberate, malicious culprit. We project human flaws onto our dogs. We assume they soiled the rug because we left them entirely alone. We believe they are angry that we changed their daily feeding schedule. We look at their tucked tail and interpret it as an admission. This is where the myth of the guilty look creates a truly tragic disconnect between species. But guilt requires a complex moral compass. It demands the cognitive ability to reflect on past actions with regret. Science tells us that canine brains simply do not operate this way. Your dog is not plotting revenge or reflecting on their poor choices. What you are witnessing is a beautiful, deeply misunderstood mechanism of social appeasement. They are responding to your body language. When you walk through the door, your shoulders tense and breathing shifts. Your dog instantly reads this sudden, sharp change in your atmospheric energy. They drop their head and avert their eyes to avoid your conflict. They are absolutely not saying they are sorry for the mess on the living room floor. They are trying to pacify your anger. They are communicating that they are not a threat to your safety. This is an evolutionary survival tactic designed to de-escalate tension within groups. We must let go of the burden of feeling intentionally targeted today. Holding on to the narrative of spite only damages the trust you share together. Release yourself from this unnecessary parent guilt. You have not failed in your training or broken their fundamental respect. Misunderstandings happen when two entirely different species try to share one home. Your frustration is valid, but the story of canine revenge is fictional. Once we remove our human ego from the equation, true empathetic behavioral translation finally becomes fully possible. Let us look through the biological lens. When we remove the concept of spite, science provides the answers. Dogs experience the world through a highly complex network of sense. Their gastrointestinal system is directly wired to their emotional processing centers. Sudden isolation triggers a profound chemical shift within their mammalian brains. They require our understanding and care during these moments. Cortisol floods their system during acute stress. This stress hormone accelerates their heart rate and alters their digestion. When panic sets in, the physical body naturally prioritizes immediate survival. Maintaining bowel control requires a calm and thoroughly regulated nervous system. A frightened dog physically loses the neurological ability to hold their bladder and bowels. Spatial anxiety completely disrupts their internal balance. Being left alone in a large house can feel overwhelming territorially. Without you present to anchor the pack, their perceived responsibility spikes. The sheer volume of empty space amplifies their vulnerability and fear. This is not a failure of their house training, but a manifestation of severe physiological distress responses. They are not leaving you a message. The physical act of elimination is actually a powerful, self-soothing mechanism. Releasing a warm puddle temporarily relieves the intense internal biological pressure. It surrounds them with their own familiar scent during a panic. This scent creates a tiny, localized anchor of safety and grounding. They are desperately trying to comfort themselves in an environment that feels profoundly unsafe. Age and health dictate their physical limits. A younger dog simply lacks the muscle maturity for prolonged retention. A senior dog may experience a gradual decline in sphincter integrity. The results show a silent infection that could cause sudden discomfort. Always eliminate underlying medical conditions with your veterinarian before assuming any indoor accident is purely behavioral. Consider the impact of sudden routine changes. Dogs thrive on the predictable rhythms of their daily environmental schedule. A late feeding or a missed morning walk alters their digestion. Even minor shifts in daylight savings time can disrupt their metabolism. Their bodies process food and water on a strict biological clock. When we disrupt this ingrained rhythm, their physical bodies simply cannot hold the line. Boredom also plays a massive, hidden role. An understimulated mind often leads to restless pacing and physical agitation. This constant movement naturally stimulates their gastrointestinal tract into sudden action. They wander the house, seeking an outlet for their unspent energy. Without appropriate mental enrichment and physical exercise, the body processes that nervous energy through inappropriate elimination. We must translate these distress signals accurately. The puddle on the rug is a highly visible biological symptom. It represents an overflow of anxiety, physical urgency, or medical necessity. Viewing this through a scientific lens replaces our anger with compassion. We can now focus on solving the root cause of distress. Understanding canine ethology allows us to truly support the dogs we love so deeply. This is the turning point for empathy. You are no longer fighting against a fictional narrative of spite. You are working alongside their biology to create a harmonious home. This intellectual clarity forms the foundation for effective, non-punitive behavioral management. By decoding their true physical needs, we can now implement strategies that guarantee their future success. We must reshape their physical environment. Creating a secure space naturally lowers their internal biological anxiety. You do not need to rely on harsh discipline tactics. Small adjustments dramatically shift how they perceive your empty house. We can implement simple daily routines to ensure their success. By managing their physical space, we actively prevent the neurological triggers of panic. This micro-habit transforms your home from a source of spatial anxiety into a deeply comforting sanctuary. Start by reducing their roaming territory. Keep bedroom doors closed to help your dog relax while you are away. Use baby gates to restrict access to large living rooms. A smaller footprint feels significantly safer to a solitary canine. This environmental boundary relieves them of the massive burden of guarding empty spaces. Limiting their territorial scope directly calms their nervous system and promotes healthy physical retention and sleep. Establish a highly predictable departure routine. Dogs find immense comfort in knowing exactly what happens next. Give them a high-value puzzle toy as you walk out. This redirects their cognitive focus away from your sudden absence. Chewing releases endorphins that actively counteract the rising stress hormones. Engaging their jaws and brains physically prevents panic from escalating into bodily accidents. This proactive daily strategy guarantees that their solitary time begins with absolute biological satisfaction and calm. Never punish your dog after the fact. Rubbing their nose in a mess only creates profound terror. They will simply learn to hide their accidents from you. This destroys the critical foundation of trust we are building. If you discover a puddle upon returning, clean it calmly without showing anger. Punishment for biological panic only amplifies their spatial anxiety and guarantees a cycle of behavioral failure. Utilize enzymatic cleaners for hidden odors. Standard household sprays leave behind microscopic pheromones you cannot smell. Your dog will instinctively return to that exact same spot. True biological cleaning breaks down the uric acid crystals completely. This erases the chemical beacon, inviting them to eliminate indoors. Removing these residual scent markers is crucial for resetting their environmental bathroom habits. Thorough enzymatic cleaning is the invisible boundary that permanently protects your carpets from future biological accidents. Audit their physical exercise needs honestly. A tired dog is physically incapable of sustaining high anxiety. Increase the intensity of their morning walk before you leave. Allow them extra time to thoroughly sniff their outdoor environment. Proper cardiovascular and olfactory stimulation fully drains their nervous energy before isolation begins. Investing time in their morning biological needs is the greatest insurance policy against afternoon behavioral issues. Consistency is your most powerful tool. Maintain their feeding and walking schedules with absolute rigorous precision. Regulated food intake directly translates to highly predictable bathroom outputs. This simple routine removes the physical guesswork from their biology. Biological predictability empowers your dog to succeed while completely eliminating your daily frustration. By aligning your schedule with their biological clock, you build an unbreakable foundation of mutual understanding. Letting go of the human narrative of spite fundamentally transforms the landscape of your relationship. When we stop viewing our homes as battlegrounds, we open the door to genuine, lasting empathy. You are no longer a primate projecting malice onto an animal struggling with their spatial environment. You become an educated translator who intuitively understands the depths of their true biological needs. This micro-habit is not just about carpets. It honors the absolute trust they place in you. When you clean a mess without punishment, you reinforce their ultimate sense of safety and belonging. You prove you are a leader who navigates their moments of panic with enduring grace. This washes away parent guilt and replaces it with clear, scientifically backed behavioral solutions. Understanding that accidents are mere distress signals allows you to build an unbreakable canine bond. As we decode these mysteries, our homes become peaceful sanctuaries built on mutual biological respect. If your dog paces the moment you grab your keys, you will want to watch my video on separation anxiety. We will explore the ethology of departure panic and learn to desensitize their stress response. Thank you for viewing the world through their deeply emotional and biological perspective today. You are the empathetic translator your dog has always needed to thrive in our world.